I'm Karen Barnaby. I'm the executive chef of the Fish House in Stanley Park, and I'm here to show you how to shuck oysters. So there's different ways of shucking oysters. One is with an oyster shucker, and this is a good kind of oyster shucker because it's slim. That's important when you're shucking oysters, because if it's too thick, it's very hard to break open the shell and get right in there. Lacking an oyster shucker, a screwdriver. A screwdriver is a great go-to tool for, of course, anything besides screwing. And then I have this punch key can opener. Now this is a trick from Julia Child. I remember watching a show with her years and years ago, and she was using one of these to open oysters. So if all else fails and you have one of these lurking around in your drawer, this is a great thing to use. So when you're shucking an oyster, you have to aim for the hinge, and the hinge is usually a black area around the bottom of the shell, and that's what you aim for when you're shucking an oyster. Some people go in through the side, but I find that that creates a lot of oyster shell in the oyster, so I go in through there. Some people use gloves to shuck. I don't. These are famous last words. So I'm holding the oyster firmly in a towel. I have the shucker. I put it in to the black area and just wiggle around. Once it's open, glide the knife around the top of the shell because this severs the muscle that holds it onto the shell. And this is a very nice oyster indeed. There's a lot of juice in it. One thing you can do for presentation that looks very good is sever it from the bottom shell and then flip it over. Because it looks really nice and plump that way. It's not flat, and that's a very good way to serve them. One of the odd things about oysters is the months you're not supposed to eat them. Now, if the month doesn't have an R in it, you're not supposed to eat them. And the reason why is not because they're poisonous, it's because they're spawning. And a spawning oyster is just not as tasty or as crisp or as delicate as an oyster that is not spawning. The best time to eat them, and it's kind of funny because most people always think of sitting out on a patio and sipping some wine, some vino verde, and eating oysters. Bad time to eat oysters. The best time to eat them is in the winter time. So October, November, December, January, February, the oysters are absolutely perfect at this time. So if you really want to enjoy an oyster to its fullest, have it in the winter time and not in the summertime.